This video is really for you couples that have decided that after betrayal, you wanted to make the marriage work. You may have children, you may not, but overall, you're working to rebuild the trust and to salvage the relationship and create a new and better one. So many of those clients have asked me for a checklist or something they can keep on a refrigerator or in the bedroom on a mirror so they can just be reminded to work on these things every day. There's 5 main categories that I think if you make check-ins with your partner, weekly, every day is great if you can take a couple of these ideas and say something every day or connect on that level. But at least once a week, it will keep what the building is all about focused, and it will also set your sights on recreating bad relationship habits, overcoming those, and recreating really good ones to replace them. Because remember, if you haven't communicated honestly before the betrayal incident, it's much harder after. And those couples that don't always communicate well, they fall into bad patterns. And so this is a way to undo that and to create better ones. And you've got a little checklist to kind of help script you. So let's talk about communication. That's the first category. We schedule regular check-ins to talk honestly about how we're doing. Remember, those should be done weekly. I can express my hurt, doubts, and triggers without being dismissed. We avoid using the affair as a weapon in unrelated arguments, and both of us listen to understand, not just to defend ourselves, okay? These are all the areas of communication. When you check in, you're checking in with yourself and you're asking your partner. For those of you who have date nights and you never know what to talk about, now you have something to talk about. Talking about 1 or 2 of these is going to be really a strong indicator that you are working to rebuild. Accountability and boundaries is the next area. The partner who cheated takes full responsibility without excuses. The affair partner is cut off completely, no contact, social media, or just friends. We have clear boundaries that about privacy versus transparency, phone use, social media. Now remember, I'm a therapist who thinks you should be able to look at each other's phone and social media and know that you're not snooping, you're not invading privacy. This is an area, you're a team, and it should, your social media and your phone use should represent that. Consistent actions match words. No secrecy, no half-truths. Okay, that's really important, and that's all in this category. The next category is healing and trust building. We understand rebuilding trust takes time, months, sometimes years. So you're not pushing, you're not telling your partner, I don't want to talk about this. You're basically open to the process. Small promises are kept consistently to show reliability. I'll be home by 6 o'clock. You're either at home at 6 o'clock or you have called your partner and said, listen, I'm running 10 minutes late. That means 6:10, not 7 o'clock, okay? Remember, that might seem tedious to you, but if you've been betrayed in a relationship, those time commitments and promises are everything. I'm allowed to ask questions and receive honest answers. We work together through triggers, and we have patience and reassurance, okay? So that means when you get triggered and you say something, your partner doesn't respond, oh no, not now, not again. They're open. They stay open and say, man, I'm really sorry that triggered you. How can I help? That's a supportive partner who really wants to work on rebuilding trust. The next category is relationship growth. We talk openly about what's missing or broken in our relationship before the affair, okay? We invest in quality time, intimacy, and shared goals. There is no better investment than taking a weekend away with your partner. If you have kids, you schedule that way in advance so the kids are well taken care of while you're gone. But that is a priceless weekend. You can't put a monetary value on something so important to your relationship. We create new memories to balance out the pain of the past. In other words, we don't live in the past. We don't keep talking about the past. We're recreating new experiences, novel things we can do together. Both partners are committed in personal growth, not just fixing the relationships. All those things you wanted to take, those classes, those endeavors of personal interest, you should still be able to take as long as you have the financial resources and you're helping your partner if they're the stay-at-home parent, or no matter what they're doing, you're supportive and attentive to what they need. You should pursue your personal interests as much as you can, because that's what's going to keep you committed in the relationship. The last part of this, the last category, is support and self-care. We're open to couples therapy or counseling if needed. And yes, it's usually needed, especially that first year after you decide, yes, we're going to work it out together. Each partner takes care of their mental and emotional health individually. That means if there's some things you need to change, you're having difficulty changing, you seek therapy on your own. This is your story, your baggage. You need to fix it. We maintain healthy support systems outside the relationship, friends, hobbies, and family. And when I say healthy, I mean they are mentors or support people of your marriage. They're not dissing your partner, talking bad about your partner, or bad about your reasons for staying together. They're supportive. That means their whole idea or feeling is, how can I help support you both at this time? Forgiveness is approached as a process, not a deadline. You understand as a couple what happened was catastrophic to the relationship. And so now to rebuild is going to take time. So nobody's putting pressure on the other person to hurry up and get her done, because you can't get her done. I mean, this is a lifelong process. It's something that stops you in your tracks and you rethink, but you can rebuild. You have to grieve the old, but you can rebuild a new and better relationship and leave that as part of your marriage story in the past. Use that as a starting point for creating something healthier, a legacy that you can leave your children or your children's children if you already have them and they're going through this too. Never make the marriage the bad guy. The bad guy in this scenario is the person who breached the vow, if you will. The person who broke the wedding vow by choosing to cheat. That's the only character that really did something that undermined the relationship. Keep that as a focus. People change, people make mistakes, but don't punish them forever. If you decide to make this work, you have to regrow from that. That has to be your example of what you can never do again. If this video is helpful for you, please subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much.